Hampshire captain Jimmy Adams became the first man to hit a double hundred this season as his side maintained their dominance over Worcestershire on the second day of their LV County Championship match at the Ageas Bowl. Hampshire resumed their first innings on 367 for 6, with Adams batting throughout the first day for 151, and he and his overnight partner Chris Wood continued to shine on the second morning as the home side went in search of 400 in their first innings for the second match running. The pick of the Worcestershire attack on the first day was Moeen Ali, and the spinners should have had a fourth wicket, but Michael Johnson missed the chance to stump Wood. It was a mistake which proved costly as Adams just went on as if he'd never had to stop his innings for a good night's rest. Having seen out the first hour, he began to open up again with more fine shots to add to his ever-growing boundary count. His innings now moved into its 8th hour and there was still no sign of him giving his wicket away. He kept things simple for the most part as the 400 was posted for maximum batting points. Indeed, Hampshire went way beyond that, with Wood again batting well in adding 96 runs for the 7th wicket with his captain. Worcestershire skipper Darryl Mitchell decided then to turn his own arm over, and he finally got the needed breakthrough as Wood on 41 drove him to Tilan Samarawira. It was only the 18th wicket of Mitchell's career. David Balcombe didn't last too long. Before he troubled the scorers, he was yorked by Richard Jones and went LBW at 448 for 8. Adams, though, was still there, and just before lunch he tucked a ball from Gareth Andrew into the leg side and scampered through for the run which took him to 200. It was an immense innings which had seen him bat thus far for 8 hours and 7 minutes, in which he'd faced 357 balls, 26 of which he'd struck to the boundary. It was an innings which should set up his season rather nicely. He batted on after the break too and added a further and very frustrating 45 runs with Danny Briggs, who made 25. Briggs was then bowled by Ali for his 4th wicket. Adams struck his 29th 4 overall to bring up the 500, at which point he finally declared his own tally ending on an unbeaten 219, the highest score by a Hampshire captain since Dick Moore made 316 against Warwickshire way back in 1937. With a lot of scoreboard pressure and having been in the field for 132 overs, it was never going to be easy for Worcestershire when they started their reply. The pitch, though, was still a good one to bat on, and Mitchell and his opening partner, Matthew Pardo, made steady progress before tea. But before that was taken, Mitchell was out. On 18, he edged Balcombe to Liam Dawson to end an opening stand of 40. In spite of that, Pardo looked in fine fettle with shots such as this one, but he wasn't able to turn his innings into something really meaningful, and on 29, he whipped a ball from James Tomlinson to James Vince at mid-wicket. So it was a steady, if unspectacular, start from the visitors to Southampton, although they now had arguably their best 2 batsmen at the crease in Ali and Samarawira. Ali is fast becoming a very good all-round cricketer. Many have known for some time about his prowess with the bat. He started this summer with a couple of 50s, and he clearly carried that form into this match. Having taken 4 for 103 with the ball, he now looked to make a nuisance of himself with the bat with some cultured strokes. However, he needed someone to stick with him if his side were going to come close to making the 351 they needed to avoid the follow-on. Alas for them, Samarawira had made only 11 when he twitched and edged Wood to Sean Irvine. Alexei Cavasius made an indifferent start to his campaign. He speedily moved into double figures, but then cut Balcombe to Briggs in the gully. So it was left to Ali to carry the torch for his side, which had now slipped to 123 for 4. A third 50 of the summer arrived for the left-hander, courtesy of his 8th 4 from his 92nd delivery. How he needed to be there at the close, but instead, with 55 runs to his name, he flapped at a rising ball from Tomlinson and deflected it into the safe hands of Dawson. The day could have ended even worse for Worcestershire, but this appeal for LBW was not given and Johnson survived. As did Neil Pinner, who helped Johnson move the total along to 159 for 5 by the close, but that still leaves the visitors 341 runs behind their opponents, with 192 still required to stop Hampshire from enforcing a follow-on for the second match in a row.